Don't know what to say. We're here at Knockhill. Finally, the Civic has made it. We have signed in, so we've been given our wristbands. I've got blue one for driver, Michelle's got a purple one for passenger. It's just the two of us today. We're going to try and record some reaction to me and first lap footage and stuff. I'm planning on doing either 4 or 5 sessions of around 4 laps each, and in that I'm looking to achieve first session just getting some laps under my belt. Second one, just trying to maybe get a couple of times looked at. Third one, another, just try and suss out some areas where I might be able to improve driving line. And then fourth, we might try and set my kind of best time, depending on how the car's worked. After the first one as well, we're going to check the car over. You guys have seen me doing basic checks on the car, just in precautionary checks before we take the car out on the track. We're going to don the helmets now and we're going to head out. We've had our briefing, which was very straightforward. When I signed on, they give you a link on an email and there's a briefing to watch there as well. So everything's kind of straightforward. So far anyway, we know the flags, we know the system. We're going to put the helmet on and we're going to put the first laps. I'm torn between having you guys see my reaction to the first laps, but I also want to see you guys see my first laps. Because you'll see how bad they're going to be. There is a few new people here. I'm not the only one, but there is a few mega cars here. So just going to have to be respectful and watch what I'm doing. Wish us luck.
Just like that record for kind of times and stuff.
Civic, if you're listening, just come back in one piece. You look after me and I'll look after you. Let's fucking go. There's a rally, so if we come off at any point, Michelle, there's a rally track over there. We'll just kind of join on there and
pretend that that's what you've been doing.
Just blend it in a bit. Oh no, there's a McLaren behind me. Oh no. You still have to do
The audio's on.
Oh.
It should be on anyway.
He's a fucking break. First time ever on a track. Well, we're red lighted. There's a red light on the track, so we're waiting to enter the pit lane. And the McLaren's just pulled up behind me. So my first battle is going to be a McLaren. Right, McLaren, let's go.
Right, Paul, don't kill us.
Aye.
Never mind the McLaren. Just check my seatbelt there.
Yeah, chin strap.
Alright.
Here we go.
I don't like it. Oh, you've gone off a quiet.
Concentrating now. This is real now. No more VR. And it's not a silly game. There's a big busy period there. We won't miss that for a start. just being extra cautious on the corners. I need to get used to the racing line and used to the braking. Come on, wee silly!
Officially completed your first lap.
There's some big cars coming behind me. See, I'm getting bullied already. I can't get the line. Can't get a line. There's too many people on the track.
Do a couple and then make it.
No space now.
They'll come in behind us. Seconds.
It is fun though. They don't give you much space for right up your arse. See, I need a racing line there. You guys are doing 100 mile an hour. Look at that. I think we're coming in this lap. Look. That's crazy, man.
Cleo's back.
That's not too clear. We'll be them, but wouldn't it be impossible to set a time? People cutting my nose off going into the racing line and stuff.
What, yellow flag?
I don't need to worry about yellow flags, I'm already slowing up. So fast, they're going up here at about 100, it's hard to see them. Very hard to see them though. So I'm having to stick in the inside line all the time. You just can't get space. Can't get space to get in the line because everybody's just that much quicker than me.
We're also very much more experienced than you.
They're all coming right round outside me. Just making sure that I can see them.
I am not designed for this.
It's just no space, getting bullied. There's too many cars on the
Wow, that was painful for me to watch back, just as much as it is for you guys. Very slow laps, but indeed they are laps. And step one, I have completed my very first 4 laps on a track. So that's something to be proud of and something to build off. As you will have seen, I was struggling to get my line a lot on the track, and my laps are ultimately James May slow, basically. It is hard, to be honest, when you're up against guys with so much experience, but don't worry. Getting those first 4 laps, although they look very bad, it was 4 laps, it was seat time. The thing I was struggling with the most, I would say, is that I was being too generous to the other cars on the track. When I'm coming round and I'm doing my laps, they're only supposed to be able to overtake, and it's a consented overtake on the 3 straights at Knockhill. So during the chicane and the hairpins and stuff, I'm entitled to keep my line and I don't actually need to move to the side. Basically, it's a track day and those guys just have to be patient with me as much as I'm giving them some respect. And I wasn't doing that in the first 4 laps. And ultimately, you'll see in the next session, I don't do that again either. In the next section, basically what's going to happen is I'm just having another attempt. We're going back out on the track, see if we can get another 4 or 5 laps in. This is the times on the first set of 4 laps. So you'll notice there, something that Michelle set up on her phone. I didn't know she was even doing it. And we've got some base times there. You can see fastest lap and optimal lap, and it's taking optimal lap from my sections. So I may have a good sector 1 in the first lap, and they'll put it with a good sector 3 on the second lap, and they'll make an optimum time. Because I was struggling for space and I was fighting for space on the track, I decided that on this day it's best for me to try and just set a good optimum time and not go for best lap, because I'm having to concede a lot of space on the track. But it's the first, it's under the belt, first 4 laps. Let's get back out there, rejoin the action and see what happens now.
Right, so it's not too busy this time.
going this way. Just gonna get here. 1073, 75. Just not being able to get enough is to set one full hot lap. Stint 2 complete, another few laps under my belt. The times for that session was 1 minute 27 for the optimum time and 1 minute 32 was my best lap. Reduced the optimal time down quite a chunk. The best lap I've got a couple of seconds. In the footage again, given too much space back, being too polite maybe on the track and not really finding a ball, so to speak. At this time I was kind of beat up a little bit, I would say, but not completely out of the game. There was a time where it was almost easier to go home than to go back out and fight, but that's not what it's about. These guys just have experience, that's all it is. They're not exactly being rude, it's just the experience level is completely different. Which is why I'm putting this together, so that you guys get a genuine, realistic vision of what happened to me and may happen to you. And there's a few tricks and tips in here that can avoid these kind of things happening to you. At this point I was a bit deflated. We decided to grab some lunch, and during that we had a walk round about the paddock to have a closer look at some of our opposition and started to chat to people because I was struggling and I was down a bit, and I decided that if I tried to speak to some people I might be able to get some help and some good information. Look how close that lip is. Show me how to drive that, Vicky. Speaking to Andy Forrest and Lisa, who was in the Radical car park next to me, they were very good with me and they were telling me to go out there and fight. I've paid just as much money and basically just don't give up. I spoke to a few other teams. It was great to speak to everyone, and then at one point I decided to speak to John and Donnie, who were in a little black Renault Clio Sport. You'll notice from stint 2 I was behind them on the pit lane. It says go big or go home, I think. On the back of the car. I ended up speaking to them. It was actually quite a warm day. We got chatting, and this is the point that changed my day. Session 3, instead of me going out by myself, Donnie kindly asked if I would like to join him and see how he navigates the track, navigates the other drivers, fights for his space, and I decided to accept that. Quite quickly accepted, to be honest, because I was at the point where I was frustrated and it would have done me a lot of good. So in the next section, I'm joining Donnie in the Renault Clio for a few laps under his wing.
Right, that's it.
I'm looking forward to this.
You must be the only person that said that to me, I tell you. I'll let him go because he'll pass me anyway.
Do you know when you're out here what ones you can have a go at and who to leave alone?
Well, you just catch up and you just let the pass stay, it's simple as that really. That's all you can do really.
So when I joined here earlier there was a queue here about
Aye.
maybe 15 years or something, and the guy right behind me was in McLaren. That was my first experience.
Aye, but no for long.
No.
Something different, eh?
Aye. I think I'm happier as a passenger than a driver.
Give you an idea, so.
Aye, well, I think the biggest thing, I'd bother with that Leon earlier.
Aye.
The Seat, I'd bother with the Seat. I think I'm going to gain at least that bit of experience.
When it was behind you, just pull in and back off a bit and that's you, you know, let them find their way past. As long as you don't pull in and keep it pinned.
Aye.
Before you know it, you're on a corner and you're getting yourself
and then you're going to T-bone them, aren't you?
Get yourself into all sorts of bother, eh?
How many laps do you find you can get before you need to come in?
It's usually maybe about 10-15 minutes.
Do you feel it through the brakes and that?
No, you just, whenever you feel like it, eh?
Do you use upgraded the pads and the fluid, aye? this, by the way. The handling is unbelievable.
You are
And
really impressed,
the way you trusted that in every single corner. I think I've still, I think you and this car kind of know each other well.
We're good
I've
pals.
got a lot to learn. That was unbelievable, unbelievable.
I'm glad you're impressed.
I'm very, very impressed, by the way.
I'm impressed I stayed in the fucking track.
Oh, there was, there was that one moment.
Aye.
That's driving. I'm not driving. That is driving.
Oh dear.
Very, very impressed. That's unbelievable.
That's made my day. Somebody tell me they're
I
impressed. with my
swear to
driving.
God, I'm not just saying that. Oh, seeing that, I'm so far off.
I know you'll be trying this on the way home.
Oh, no chance. I'll not be trying it out in the track, Donny. That was class, that was unbelievable. I've no idea what I'm doing there.
Just see that bit there, you just go to pull it. That's it. Oh, that's what you do.
That was class, honestly unbelievable. This is the last session of the day. This will be my third because I went out with Donny. So this will be my last session. Need to just try and get some seat time in. Just about getting some laps in now. Try and get sectors. See if I can get decent sectors. Hearts in my mouth, first time on the track myself. Donny showed me a few good things here. I'm just going to have to hold my line and bully back a little bit. Too nice to my car, I think. Just letting him pass, then didn't go past. Now I've lost the line. Too quick for me. Got some clear track. A wee bit anyway. Found a little bit of balls. Not too much. Foot's to the floor. That 80. We see one struggling to get me. This is it now. Found my box a wee bit. See, one's going to get me though. I was giving it balls in that corner there, but
I found a wee bit of balls after being out with Donnie there. If I can just get a clean lap, I'll put together a decent time. I know I will. This is well better. It's quieting down now. I'm pushing some pace. Oh, yellow flag. You have to hit the car a wee bit. I've got to see one on the straight, but it's crazy through the corners. Fiesta's up my arse. I'm not letting them through. Found my balls a bit, Donnie! Found my balls a bit. Definitely found my balls a bit. The car can't handle better than I expected. Then I'm doing 90 into this first corner. I was only doing about 40 this lap the last time. Donnie's actually coming up behind me. Oh, someone's off. I've lost my brakes now. I pushed it hard there. I pushed it hard. I'm going to just try and cool them down a bit. I've no brakes now. I used my brakes this time. I was actually like doing 90 and stuff. Found my balls there. Yes, little Civic. Before I pull in here, guys, I just want to. There's something that's been playing on me a wee bit. When I do things like this and I fix these cars, and I'm always in a rush to go back home, and there's always someone that I tell my story and tell my day to, and it was obviously my dad. I've had so much fun here today, thanks to everybody for speaking to me and taking the time to get to know me and giving me the tips, and to Donnie and John for letting me out in their car. But it's heartbreaking knowing that I've got this footage and I've done this track day and my dad's not there to go home and share this experience with, so this one was for him. Red flags out, that was good timing. That was class there, but I saved the best for last. I definitely saved the best for last there.
An emotional end there for me and the Civic at Knockhill. That ultimately ended the session, that red flag, and there was only a couple of minutes left, so they put an end to it. It was great. I had a lot of fun in the end. Huge thank you to John and Donnie taking the time to speak to me. It completely changed my day. You would have noticed that in my reaction and my facial expressions after my last session there compared to the first two. So being with them really changed it. It opened my eyes on how I actually had to trust the car. Donnie in the car, he fully trusted the car, putting it into the corners. He had a good feel, and that just comes with experience. I've got a lot of learning to do with the Civic, and just feeling and knowing and starting to trust the car the more times we use it. What's next for the Civic? Well, I've actually bought the car and tracked it, so we have actually set out and achieved everything that we wanted to do with the car. The only thing now, we've showed you an exact beginner's day because that's exactly what I am. The only thing we're going to do next is we're going to change the brake fluid, and we're going to change the pads, the brake pads, and then we're going to go back, revisit it, and see if we can get those times down a little bit. Ultimately, I think with the Civic I want to do maybe 4 track days or something with it, and then we'll see what happens then with the Civic. The phone and the rig is actually sitting on a dedicated track car right now, which I can't show you guys yet. So we've got that ultimately, which should be replacing the Civic in the near future, hopefully. Some feedback. Was this all worth it? A little bit of feedback here. If you're a beginner and you've watched this video, firstly, thanks very much, but would I encourage you to do this? 100%. Still, me right now editing this video and watching it back, it makes me want to go back right now. It can be very much addictive. That's why I'm kind of planning on doing 4 at least. There's loads of different avenues and ways into it. There's people run their different track days, there's evening track nights, there's loads of stuff, and we're certainly going to be back. It's something that I want to do at least 4 times a year moving forward, kind of for as long as my life lets me, kind of thing. 100%. This video is a good guide. I believe it's realistic and you guys can see exactly what to expect when you do it. Hit me up in the comments if you've got any questions, anything like that. I'll definitely get back to you guys if there's anything I can do to help. There'll be future days where I'll be there. If you see me, come speak to me and I'll help you as much as possible. If I can do this, guys, anyone can do this. So, and the thing is, as well, literally anyone. Doesn't matter your age, your gender, nothing. Anyone can get a car and go and do this. So this is really something for everyone that can get involved in, and I 100% encourage it. It brings out different feelings in you, and there's all sorts of rush and emotion, and it's really good. You'll really enjoy it. So anyone, literally anyone, don't let hurdles, knock those hurdles down. If you're anxious about, you've never done it before, I had never done it before, and I'm a very anxious person, so if there's anything I can do to help, just give me a message, and 100% I will help you guys. Don't let anything stop you, knock those hurdles down. If this is something you love, motorsport is for everyone, and this is a track day. If this is something you love, and you want to go and get a car, or you have a car, I'm pushing you guys to do this, really do it, you won't regret it. So yeah, give me some feedback on how your day goes. What's coming up next for the channel as we've ended this little series? Next up, we're hoping to go back to the Super Turbo. There is a couple of things that are supposed to be happening in the next upcoming 2 or 3 weeks that will change the course of the Super Turbo, and there are some things that have happened in the past 2 or 3 weeks which have changed the course of the Super Turbo, so I think we should be going back on with that, to be honest. The Civic is getting used as a daily. It's a great little car. It's something Michelle's using it as a daily driver right now, and it's actually driving pretty sweet. So yeah, next up we're going to be on the Super Turbo, and we're going to hopefully be tackling in about the Nissan Pulsar as well. This little car here will feature soon, so don't worry about that. There's loads going on, so stick with the channel. This has been a bit of a long-winded episode, I know that, so if you're still here at the end, I really appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thanks to everyone who helped me on the day, who helped me get this car to the track and carry out something that's been on my bucket list for years. So a huge thank you to every single one of you guys. There's nothing else to say really. I'll see you on the next video. Thanks very much, everyone.